Hello and thank you for tuning in. The Roblox Archives is a platform for community creators on Roblox to spotlight how they make use of the platform. I hope you enjoyed today's very first interview. Hello, Cairo. What do you do on the Roblox platform?
So I first started off doing 3D art about a year and a half ago, and then I realized my passion for teaching others and organizing events and stuff like that, so that's when I became an event organizer back in the beginning of this year.
So I know that you're also a UGC artist. How was the process with going through that?
The process of getting in?
Yeah, because I hear that the process could be really grueling and stuff. It's one of the hardest.
Yeah, for me it definitely was. I started in February of 2021. Well, actually I started in January, but applications opened in February, so I applied with only 1 month of experience, which was definitely a mistake. I think I should have just waited, but I really rushed my application, so I ended up getting denied. The actual chances of getting into UGC are 50 to 60 people get in out of 30,000 people or 25,000 people or something like that. So I got denied, and then applications opened again in July. So I applied again with way more experience, obviously. I spent a couple very, very long days and nights making up a whole new portfolio just for the application and stuff like that, and I eventually got in. But it did take a lot of time, a lot of concept creating, and a lot of learning to be able to get to that point, especially in the time frame that I did. It's more realistic to expect to have maybe a full year of experience before you can, expect to be able to maybe get in, but in the end, it's kind of the luck of the draw as well. There's tons of talented people that unfortunately didn't get in that had probably just as good of a chance as I did.
I actually find it interesting, though, that you said you only had 1 month experience, but I saw that you joined Roblox back in 2012. It's what were you doing?
I was just a player for a pretty long time. I joined back in 2012 when I was how old was I? I was probably 11 or something. I don't know. And I know I was more 9. I don't know. But I played gymnastics games and Boys and Girls Hangout and stuff like that. And then I never looked into game development as an option for me. It was never really something I was interested in back then. Back in 2015 to 2017, I was kind of one of those cafe players where I had a job at the cafes, and then I ended up managing a group called Applebee's with Builder Boy, who is now a metaverse fashion expert. Good for him. But yeah, that's what I did back then. And then I came back to Roblox more recently, and I was kind of just pondering about ways to make Robux and stuff like that. I thought about doing group management and stuff like that, and I saw that UGC was a kind of up-and-coming thing, and I discovered that 3D art was actually something that I really loved.
I think that the helping out with the cafe and group management stuff really helped you to really pick up UGC.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely exposed me to the other side of Roblox that I would have never been introduced to otherwise. So,
do you have any other plans coming up with UGC items? Do you like collaborations and stuff, or do you just create what you feel like?
I occasionally collaborate with my close friends, but I've never gotten any brand deals or anything like that. Probably just because I have not been around as long as a lot of other creators, and I don't have as large of a following. So it's kind of hard being in the third wave of accepted UGC applicants. You're kind of behind everyone. So it is hard to get to the level that they're at and get the deals that they do. But, with an extra amount of work, you can definitely get there, I think.
Is your end goal to get, more brand sponsors and stuff?
There's not really any sort of end goal. It's just kind of just seeing how far you can actually push it within digital fashion and stuff like that. And it's currently on the ups, just in terms of, Facebook and the metaverse, and a lot of brands are taking advantage, especially on the Roblox platform. So the possibilities are actually endless right now.
And after you mentioned digital fashion, though, do you want to get into like real life fashion as well?
I've never really had much of an interest in real life fashion, and a lot of my 3D art stuff hasn't really been fashion focused, but there are a lot of like pivotal layered clothing creators that really consistently create layered clothing, which the workflow of layered clothing is very similar to that of sewing in real life in terms of measurements and stuff like that. So perhaps they would have some interest, but I do not. I didn't really have a good turnout or experience with layered clothing. I started a bit late, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I know that you're also an event organizer. Are your events like mainly focused around UGC items, given like feedback or like advice to people that want to become UGC item creators?
Well, so far I've only hosted one event just because things have been crazy in my life with UGC and stuff. But the one event that I hosted was focused on preparing people that are applying for UGC to kind of maximize their chances of getting in and just kind of giving them all of the unspoken materials that a lot of people with connections get, but a lot of applicants that don't have friends that are in the program and stuff like that, they don't get that same kind of encouragement and advice that they do. So our kind of goal was to be able to spread that and share that with everyone to give everyone an equal chance.
Like, do you want to like start doing more events focused around UGC?
Yeah, I have plans to do more stuff probably within the next coming months. It'll probably be workshops or tutorials and stuff like that. But it will all be UGC focused because that's all I really have interest in hosting events for.
Like, it's like your only interest is with the UGC items. Like, you don't want to branch out into other.
It's kind of just more so 3D modeling in general and not really just UGC, but I don't know, perhaps I've thought about doing collaborations with some other game developers to kind of bring more knowledge to the table since all that I do is 3D art, but
Yeah.
it's all kind of just an idea right now.
No, speaking of collaborations, though, I saw that you also help out with a game called Bloopville. You want to speak on that a bit?
Yeah, so Bluefill is going to be a kind of lifestyle roleplay game, kind of in the same genre as Adopt Me or Brookhaven, though they're not really the same whatsoever. Like Bluefill has a lot of different mechanics that sets them apart from their competitors, and I've been working with them for almost a year now. It'll be a year. It'll be a year in June, and I've had only good experiences. Development has been lengthy, but that's honestly a good thing. We're very meticulous with what we've been doing and stuff. So hopefully we can see Bluefill released within this year or maybe next year.
And I saw you have like a whole website made for it and everything. So you're already preparing like a fan base.
Oh yeah, for sure. We hosted a lot of Christmas Discord events and stuff like that. So that was kind of fun to engage with the community and stuff. Get everyone active again.
Any other plans for development? Or is this just it? Just this one group that I got help out with?
For me personally, I mean, I'm always open to taking new opportunities. It's kind of, well, currently my boyfriend and I are developing Hospital Roleplay 3 after Hospital Roleplay 2, which did pretty well for us. So that has been consuming a lot of my time, but we are very close to release with that. And I mean, I'm always open to taking any offers that come my way. It just depends on, you really have to think about what's worth your time and what isn't. And I think that that's something that a lot of younger devs struggle with, is that they don't understand their worth. And it really hurts them in the long run because they really unfairly price themselves and they're not profiting like they should for what they're doing.
And speaking on that though, like, have you ever like commissioned yourself out or like could speak from experience about like underpricing yourself and not realizing it?
Well, I was lucky to get some connections with some larger figures from the very beginning of my journey, and I definitely think that it helped me a lot being able to form those connections with people who are very experienced in the field and stuff like that. So I'd like to say that my pricing has always been very fair for my age and my responsibilities and stuff like that because I do pay bills and stuff like that. Um, so I've never really experienced myself underpricing myself, but I have had people, for example, like in the server that I run, that are selling models for 200, 300 Robux, which is, like maybe $1 or a couple cents at most. So it's definitely something that more people need to be aware of because when one person underprices themselves, that makes it harder for other people to price themselves according to what they're worth, just because of what developers who are commissioning people are willing to pay. It's kind of an economical thing.
Yeah. For dig into that or plan to dig into that with UGC items,
Dig into what specifically?
like helping them like price, like what prices they should charge, giving them advice like based on their experience with it, how it looks, age range, etc.
Well, all of our most UGC items are priced pretty fairly based on the number of sales that we get. It is a very profitable program. The problem lies in people who are making commissions for YouTubers or star creators and people that are making commissions for games. So the problem with star creators is that I don't want to bash anyone specifically, but a lot of them will very, very severely underpay developers who are naive, and then they will go and post the item on the catalog, and it could do exceptionally well, and the creator who made it will have made maybe $50, and they could be making thousands or tens of thousands of dollars off of that one item. So what we really try to do with giving people advice about pricing for YouTubers, star creators, and stuff like that is to think about the item and its possibility for profit and how long it will take. So you obviously want to be working over minimum wage and stuff, but some people will take a percentage of profit on top of that, or they will take a higher percentage of profit just outright, and there will not be any base payment, which is kind of risky depending on what the item is.
So do you have like, is that like your advice to like upcoming UGC creators? Like find out like how you want to price your items, make sure it's fair, make sure that you're getting a return investment, like making money off it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. It's all about kind of looking at the market around you and what other people are paying for the same thing. But if you see one person, giving away a model for 200 Robux, that does not mean you should go and sell your models for 200 Robux. A good price range for even just one detailed model is probably around 20 or 30 USD. If it's a detailed model for a game, which is, I don't know, I think it's like 8 to 10,000 Robux or something like that. But if it's a commission for a star creator, it's definitely, even if it's a simple item, it's worth probably 50k Robux or more. Is a good price.
So any other advice for like UGC creators or people that want to get into making items for development?
I think that the biggest thing that I see with people on Twitter who are trying to get their creations out there and, get noticed and stuff like that is that they are going to burn themselves out if they continue at the pace that they're going. Like I saw someone on Twitter saying yesterday that they want to make one creation a day, which was actually my initial goal in the first month that I started, creating concepts, and that maybe lasted for a week, and then I got super burned out, and that application's open, and my motivation suddenly came back. But it's definitely avoiding burnout. Like, not everyone is going to be on the edge of their seat waiting for you, and it's okay to take time to learn the fundamentals of modeling instead of just kind of following tutorials and making things that you know how to make. It's good to learn how to visualize and be able to make anything that you want.
Is there like anyone that you look up to?
Anyone that I look up to? I've never really considered myself to have any role models in this community, though there are some people where I'm extremely proud of their success. Like, for example, I mentioned Builder Boy earlier. I met him when I was probably like, I don't know, 12 or 13, and I definitely got to watch him kind of grow his huge empire like he has, and it's really inspirational to be able to watch that.
We covered a lot of ground, so I have to say thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.